So I'm going to first read this one article, and then I'm going to read this other article. Santa Fe New Mexican.com is first. So this guy is Ezekiel Martinez, and he was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. I think the guy was killed. We'll get back to the original charge, but he's going to get killed in jail for reasons that's not too clear. He's going to get killed in jail, and I have no idea if it has anything to do with the original charges. He was the one testifying, I guess. He was state's evidence against the other one. There was 5 people who were charged. So this is Ezekiel Martinez. R.I.P. to Ezekiel Martinez. For some reason, they just said well, I'll read the article. So this is the guy who was charged with the crime, and they found him dead in jail. Not because he was ordered to be electrocuted, not because the state and the system pushed for capital punishment, but because he got shanked. And I wonder if it has to do with gang affiliation. So let's come back to that article. Taos. At a Taos County Sheriff's Office investigation into the April 17th death of 37-year-old detainee Ezekiel Zeke Martinez at the county jail found that staff had negligently tossed drug contraband into a waste bin that Ezekiel Martinez had access to as a porter in the facility. So maybe that's it. You know, he's the person that could get things, right? Get things done. He was the Morgan Freeman in the Shawshank Redemption. He's a man who knows how to get things. Well, when he cleans up stuff, he can kind of reach into the trash can, and maybe they were throwing stuff into the trash can so he could... Martinez, who had placed a visual block over a cell door window, was found slumped over and unresponsive with a blue face. Slumped over and responsive, blue face. So he'd been dead for a while. And it doesn't seem like administering CPR, several doses of Narcan were unsuccessful. Martinez was pronounced dead at the scene. Officers searching his cell found drug paraphernalia such as a lighter, a pipe with residue inside of it, and a plastic bag with what appeared to be a burnt substance. According to Undersheriff Jerry Ho'Greffy's report, jail captain Corporal Emily Cordova, who had been surveilling the jail that night, said she noticed Martinez's towel head was covering his small window. But it's common, she said, for detainees to place things over their hall window when they want privacy. Cordova also recognized the pipe as one taken from a female detainee the day before. The report says, hey, wait a second, that was her pipe. The pipe was handed to Jail Sergeant Matthew Martinez. Matthew Martinez said he threw it in the garbage. Ho'Greffy wrote, noting that there was no indication of the surveillance footage that booking officers had inspected the pipe before disposing of it. Also find it concerning that the discovery of the pipe is not logged on the intake search form as it should have been, because a pipe is considered contraband. It's a prohibited item for an inmate to possess. Ho'Greffy wrote, at a minimum, it should have been documented, properly collected as evidence. None of that happened. About an hour and a half later, the surveillance footage showed Zeke Martinez cleaning the booking area as part of his porter duties while taking out the trash. Ho'Greffy's report says Martinez appeared to look in the garbage bin and noticed the pipe. After making sure no one was watching, he appeared to slip the pipe onto his person. So they're saying that he smoked something in a pipe and ended up killing him. There was some black substance. What was he smoking? Shauna McTagg, who had interviewed Aaron Jones, a detainee in Martinez's pod, wrote in a narrative. Aaron said he did hear when jail staff finds stuff, drugs, contraband, on inmates during booking. Jail staff sometimes just throw drugs, contraband in the trash. Aaron said Zeke was allowed to go behind the booking desk to dump the trash under the desk. According to Jones, McTagg wrote Martinez would find things in the booking area that were considered contraband. He previously found an e-cigarette and a lighter. Martinez, see, so da-da-da-da-da. No cell searches. Tore everything apart. He pleaded guilty to charges in a November 2020 homicide in a deal that required him to testify against the 4 co-defendants. So maybe he just smoked some shit and ended up killing himself. Maybe somebody slipped something in. Maybe he was shanked. They're not talking about any sort of violent foul play, no stabbings or stab wounds or anything. Not yet. I believe this death could potentially involve retaliation, or has at least led me to believe the possibility exists. Retaliation. What about justice? What about justice? The guy was state's evidence, so that was your entire case. Now 4 other guys are going to walk away. And again, is this, the Banditos? Is this Hell's Angels? This is gang shit, right? Because one of the guys, there was 5 guys that were charged with the conspiracy to murder, but one of the guys wasn't even like a part of the thing. One guy was like a guy who was going to threaten to kill the other witnesses. And so either that's just a very loyal family member, or that's some gang shit. That's some Nazi shit. That's some Blood and Crips and MS-13 shit. The investigation concluded that there was no foul play and that the death may have been an overdose. May have been, because he shouldn't have died. There was something not right. If it's not an overdose, then it's foul play. So the weird way to word that. He had been offered protective custody, but he had declined. He had been offered. Why would he decline? I guess he didn't feel afraid. He'd been drug-free for a year until some days before his demise. He added Martinez, along with another inmate, had snorted a mixture of water and the residue from the pipe on a separate occasion. So they just smoked the residue on the pipe. Could somebody have thrown the pipe in the trash can knowing he was grabbing things out of the trash can and just put a whole bunch of, some sort of poison or something on it? Rail had noted medical forms. He had diabetes. Luis Otero, 40, was found dead in the jail May 14th. The cause was determined to be a suicide. What the fuck? Hey, Taos, why do you got so many people dying in your jail? Why do you got so many, the Stanford prison experience, why do you got so many people dying in your jail? Luis Otero. Suicide, huh? So there you go. Okay, so that's Santa Fe, New Mexico. Now let's read this article here to see what he was doing. 5 Penasco area residents were charged in a complex case of alleged murder, conspiracy, kidnapping this month relating to the death of Leroy Damasio Fresquez. He went missing in November 2020, and his body was found March 8th, 2021. 4 months later, Precious Aguilar, Stephen Aguilar, Juanita Romero, Ronnie Tafoya, Ezekiel Martinez were all arrested on a slew of charges relating to Fresquez's death, and they were arraigned recently in a Taos magistrate court. And then it goes on to the specific details of the charges. In the months following, rumors circulated around the community about Ezekiel, Ronnie, Juanito, his daughter Precious, being involved in Damasio's murder. According to the complaints, which remain sealed, the murder took place on Thanksgiving Day in 2020. When they got into a car with Fresquez, telling him they were going to go get some food. We got to go get some food. Precious, Juanita, Ronnie Tafoya. And that'd be crazy. A lot of times these gangsters are like best friends, and then when it's your time is up, we're going to just go to the club. You're a hitman. You don't go to club with people. No, I'm not going to go to McDonald's with you all today. According to one of the complaints, Ronnie Tafoya left behind a letter in case anything were to happen to him. It describes the car ride when Fresquez was allegedly killed. According to the complaint, the letter reads that Romero, who was sitting behind Fresquez, asked to see his knife. Fresquez hesitated, but then gave it to her. Tafoya wrote Romero put the knife to Fresquez's neck, at which point Fresquez says, "Kill me, kill me." As Martinez turned onto Valdez Road, Tafoya then said Romero reached for Fresquez's head and tried to stab him, but missed. Tafoya said Romero continued stabbing Fresquez from behind. Fresquez allegedly tried to wrestle the knife away from Romero, but was unable because Precious Aguilar was sitting on his lap. Tafoya said Martinez then pulled out a gun and pointed it at Fresquez, and that Fresquez also tried to get the gun out of Martinez's hands. Romero allegedly then pulled out a kitchen knife as she had brought with her and continued stabbing Fresquez and told Martinez to shoot him. God damn, I had motherfuckers doing shit over and over again. Phil Greeny committed like 50 to 100 crimes. Motherfucking Robert Pickrell, Jacqueline Mitchell, Hiram Richardson. And all I did was fire a couple warning shots. Are they going to get any justice for this guy? This is fucking bloody and psycho. And then it says that Fresquez ran into the mountains, so he was getting stabbed from behind. Romero then told Martinez they needed to go find and look for the gun. Tafoya Precious Camille Saavedra, okay, this is another, she wasn't charged, ran toward the highway. Tafoya said then he heard one gunshot. The three then drove Martinez's car back to Romero's house, where Precious Aguilar allegedly told her father, Stephen, that they had got the expletive, got the fucker, got the bastard. A complaint states, why say expletive? Like, a complaint states that in April, well, you can't say bastard on TV, that Frutoso Vincent Martinez shot Ezekiel Martinez in the thigh and his father Richard Martinez in the ankle at the Pecures Travel Center. What? The state has filed motions for no bond holds in all cases. So, you still have, I don't know what to presume. Ezekiel Martinez was going to be state's evidence. Ezekiel Martinez, it looks like he had overdosed on this pipe. But what was it, intentional? Could they have put poison in the pipe knowing he would pick it up and then smoke it? Because that's the only way, if it's just a drug overdose, that seems to be the only way to me that it could be foul play. So can we presume that? And then, is he a gang? Is he part of a gang? This all sounds like gang shit. Which gang is on whose side? Who's on what side? Which gangs are we talking about here? Because it's weird when they say, well, his death is going to get retaliation. You need justice, motherfucker. He was your state's, he was a part of this conspiracy and it was awful, but you know the information because of him and you needed his testimony. He shouldn't have been in jail. You needed his testimony and maybe just an ankle monitor. Why don't you just have him in your basement at your house? You need him for the witness. So he's got all the information and then he's got to go to court and say all those things that, you know, he had already said before was true. So that would be a reason that he could have been killed. So there's definitely motive. And then back to the original, you know, charges. These 5 people, they better push the charges. Just because you killed the state's witness, does that mean that the charges don't go through now? Well, now the state can't prove their case. Motherfucker, you were charged with murder, and then the fucking state's witness just died. So, yeah, I don't think you get away with fucking murder by another motherfucking murder. That's just, I remember at the jury trial, I said, you know, there's been like 27 murders, probably 30 murders in the San Luis Valley. And I kind of just read small details, you know, here and there. And then afterwards, you know, I made my closing and he capped it off at 30 minutes. And I just sat down. And then she got up and said a bunch of shit. Where was I going with this? I don't know. But, oh yeah, she said, he just scared the bejesus out of me. You know, should have just objected. I'm not the one going around killing people, motherfuckers. I shot a few warning shots. That's all I did. Oh, you guys are killing people left and right all over the fucking place. I went ahead and reported crimes and the cops didn't do shit. And then I told some of the neighbors and some other fucking people, and basically everybody's a bunch of Nazi fucking assholes around here. Nobody gives a goddamn fuck about the truth, about the evidence. Nobody here wants to stop the crimes. Nobody I've talked to. Now, I'll give some credit where some, you know, Conejos County Republicans, you guys are kicking ass and taking names. You all seem to be against crime on principle. So those fucking Nazis in Costilla County, they come around every once in a while, but they're not day to day, every fucking day. So what's my point? I don't know. R.I.P. to the guy and justice. Ultimately, we want to get justice. We need to have a presence of justice in the neighborhood. Ezekiel Martinez. He seems somewhat young, too. So, R.I.P. to him, Ezekiel Martinez.